Welcome to College and Cocktails. The 2026 season is upon us, and tonight is the Canadian Excellence meet. We watched Iowa, Minnesota at Utah, and
We did.
Tonight's meet is brought to you by commentator Mo. Said the judges are rusty too. And this is our first show back since vacation. So it's almost like we are too. You can listen to this show. You don't have to join us live. You can listen on your favorite podcast player, but we do it live after we pick a meet each week during college season. And this is our live Q&A show where we answer your questions. It's just for you, our Club Gym Nerd members. And today is January 2nd. Yes, that's right. We watched a college gymnastics meet on January 2nd. The least wise thing that has ever happened in the history of sports, besides that thing in the sports bowl, where they do a parade and then they compete in the football on New Year's Day, I think. That's the worst one. But a day after, also, a decision not made for health, I think.
Yeah, I mean, most of the things I want to talk about were Avery Neff, so we can talk about what happened on beam. She does way more bonus than is needed. The coolest part of her beam routine is her aerial to 2 feet connected to Shushanova, which is
quarter turn Shushanova.
Quarter turn, yeah.
Don't forget
you have to get yourself facing the right direction to do a straddle jump to front support, which is what a Shushanova is, which is a very fun combination. She does need it because she doesn't do a dance combination in her beam routine at all, because you can do this instead, but it means she has to connect them. And that's the risky part and the question you have about this combination, because it's really hard to connect that aerial landing on 2 feet directly into a leap, but she has to do that to fulfill the requirement. So it's that kind of thing where you're like, I love the energy. I love everything about this idea. I'm worried that it's going to be like a couple months later and you're like, okay, we have to do something safer and more boring so that we're not worried about you not getting a 10-0 start value for doing like way more difficulty than is necessary.
I love this skill combo so much. You know how much I love a Shushanova. You can do a Shushanova all over the place. I don't care. I love it on floor, on beam, accidentally, like just when you're walking and a gymnast trips over something, because that happens all the time. But I love it so much, and I hope that was just like a weird one-time landing, and she can just arm circle into it and do it. But what's the question we have?
There was Amy Chow Advocate, which is the correct screen name, says, did her foot move between her acro? Thought I saw that, but maybe I'm delusional, LOL. I didn't, but I would want to watch it again. That would be a broken connection. If your foot pivots, that's one of the reasons you could say the connection was broken. Debbie asked what start value they ended up giving Neff. She got a 10-0 start value. So they had a judges conference. What Elisa said on the commentary was she thought one of the judges originally had a 9-8 start value and the other had a 10. So they conferenced and then they both came to a 10-0 start. They were probably out of range anyway, so that always would have been a conference. But
no, that's true. That was your start value.
If your co-judge has makes a really bad boo-boo, like an impossible score kind of boo-boo, like she fell and you didn't even take for a fall, then the other judge can be like, sweetie, we need to have a conference.
Which I feel like there were some impossible scores
we need
tonight.
To talk about you.
Okay, did the right team win?
That bad, I would say. Vault, I thought was bad. Vault was too high. I didn't think the scoring was that bad.
I was like, the fuck on Vault is how I felt about it.
You were asking our important question because we have an outline and everything. It's almost like we should follow it, but that doesn't happen on College and Cocktails. Yes, I think the right team won. Utah won. I think they were clearly the best team. I don't think I thought the ranking was right. Utah 1, Minnesota 2, Iowa 3. I don't think that was really questionable.
Yeah. I think
they all want to drop these scores, even though you only get to drop one. It's almost like you had a meet on January 2nd, and it looked like it was January 2nd.
I thought I really liked Iowa, and I thought they have the most Canadians, so obviously they're gonna win.
So they are winners.
Right. They'll be second at least if Utah does their normal, level. But I feel like they don't have kind of the depth, and also there's some weakness, and I mean actual strength weakness on the team. There were some routines when I was like, oh, I'm afraid you're gonna get hurt because you're not strong enough yet to do what you're doing. And that made me nervous. But then they have spectacular athletes too, like the Canadians absolutely kicking ass.
And Jerquavia Henderson is back, which is very exciting to me and the highlight for Iowa. So if you haven't followed it, just Jerquavia Henderson's in her like 7,000th year of eligibility because she left the team during Larissa Libby's final season and then returned to the team. That was for the 2024 season. So she wasn't on the team, returned for the 2025 season, but then tore her Achilles immediately and was out for the season. So it's been 2 years of not competing. And now she's back and did the all around. And it was a very good meet. She was like overamped sometimes, which is the good problem.
Like vault, where I was like, oh shit.
Like, boom. Yeah.
Vault, I was like, oh no, that's it. Now she's out again. Like I thought for sure she landed one leg locked on her Yurchenko 1.5, and I was like, oh no. But then she seemed fine, so hopefully she actually is fine. But I was very worried because she is my god, my sun, my moon, and I've been waiting forever for her to come back, and I just thought it wasn't going to happen because a 7th year is almost unheard of in gymnastics. Like a 6th year, there have been 6th years. There have been people that have torn their ACL twice or torn their both Achilles or whatever, and they have 2 years off. A 7th year is extremely rare. Extremely rare. So, yeah, I'm so excited.
Because she had the COVID year, the redshirt year, the year where she, whatever. It's
a mental health year.
Yeah.
Which mental health counts as an injury now. The world we live in is getting better, you guys. This is amazing. It used to be they would just be like, rub some dirt on it and go again. That's what they say in the sports balls anymore.
Yeah.
8 Canadians competing here. No, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Canadians, and an Englander.
At least
and
150. Irish. At least 150 Canadians were in this meet.
And we have a married Poterario.
Oh yeah, they're married now.
She married her soccer boy. Which is why she moved to Utah because, well, besides that she like had it with UCLA, why she's in Utah is because of him because he's a pro soccer player. Was Peng a
double
6th?
Lensers asked if Peng was a 6th or a 7th year. I thought she went 6.
6 years. Yep.
Because she started with two redshirt 2 years off back to back, but she was a 6th year and not without the COVID year because she was before that.
Yeah, and
so the COVID year added in the possibility of being a 7th year.
And I am glad that, correct me if I'm wrong, the orthopedist listening to this show, but my understanding is now what happened to Peng is very rare. Like they used a cadaver ACL, and now they don't do that as much, especially with athletes, because it's too dangerous because they don't test it.
Big upset of the day. Our biggest upset of the day. Jessica started talking about cadaver ACLs before the altitude in Utah. I mean, I would have bet some money that the altitude in Utah was going to come up before the cadaver ACLs, but you know, this is why we play the sport. It doesn't just happen on paper. You got to play the game.
This is why I would like to get to our superlative awards right away because I do have a science, you might call it exercise science. Award goes to our Alyssa Moe. Commentator who normally we only get at the UW meets, but now she's on the big bad broadcast of ESPN and doing the sideline reporting.
I like you can tell that she knows what the deduction should be, and even when she's being really complimentary, you can kind of hear in her voice like, I know you see that deduction too, but you feel like you've been over negative, so you're gonna say something really nice, but I know you saw that leap was short as well. Okay, I'll allow it.
I feel like she was a little nervous tonight, and she was doing double duty, and that's understandable. And she's on ESPN, so. But she is one of my favorites, and her research is usually so deep. And it was like today, she just had a lot to say. But I do want to give her the science award for mentioning altitude. It's real, and it has a real effect. Oh, we didn't see anyone run over to the trash cans and puke from altitude sickness at this meet, so that's nice.
I didn't think we saw any terrible, whoa, they were not prepared to do a floor routine at this altitude. We saw some short landings on floor, but that's kind of normal and fewer than we see at typical normal altitude first meets, where you're like, ooh, give it a few weeks. If you liked what you heard, get more by joining Club Gym Nerd.